Hey, good morning, entrepreneurs. Lone Coach Kelly here, coming to you with North Coast Coffee Chats. And I'm here with my partner in crime, Dave West.
David West, your solar best.
What's up, my man?
How you doing?
Good, good. So as partners with NC&G, North Coast Networking Group, we bring to you North Coast Coffee Chats, where we bring local entrepreneurs and business-minded individuals throughout the North County together with the idea and goal of trying to help you grow your business, build your connections, and help you increase your business, right? That's what we're doing, and that's who we're talking to, entrepreneurs. And today, our local entrepreneur is none other than Eric Anderson of Handemanco. Eric, welcome to the show.
Hi, good morning. It's good to be here.
Yeah, good to have you, dude. We look forward to chatting a little bit about you, about your business, how you got to where you're at, and a little bit about NC&G and how the group has been able to help you take your business to the level that you're at today. So let's fire this one up, guys.
Sounds good.
All right. Dave, kick it off.
Eric, so you're a handyman and you've been in San Diego for a little bit now. But tell us a little bit more about your journey coming to San Diego, how you got started just helping out homeowners fix the things with their honey-do lists and get everything all squared away in the house.
Well, I don't think any handyman actually starts out to be a handyman. I got my start in tile and stone, kitchen and bathroom remodels. In 2002, I met a guy named Mike Rogers. He did Mike Rogers Tile and Stone. He had two fraternity brothers that we worked with. One was a plumber and another one was an electrician. So in a very short period of time, I became rather skilled in all matters of home remodels, kitchen and bathroom design.
Before that, though, you were telling us as a kid you were starting to get handy. Like that's a trade that not many youth really entrench and get into. Like I know for growing up as a kid, my father was an elevator mechanic, and the dude could take apart a car and rebuild an engine and rebuild a motor on a boat. And I'd sit there in the middle of the cul-de-sac shooting hoops. And I just didn't have that. But in your house that you were telling us you grew up in North Carolina, that was a different story for you.
Right. That house was built in 1919, and I style myself son of Mr. Fix-It.
Okay.
Every summer, we basically fixed the drainage system from cast iron to ABS. We swapped out the electrical from two-pole electric to Romex cables. And it was a journey. By the time I was 17, I'd already had the basics of most trades. There wasn't a thing on that house we didn't touch. When I came out here to California, one of the things that I found is there was a housing tract that was being built across the street. And they were right about the point where they had walls up and they were about ready to start on their plumbing. And I was bored. I walked across the street and started talking to the construction manager at the time. And I asked him, hey, is there anything I can do? He's like, well, we're about to start doing some surface plumbing. Do you have any experience? Sure, absolutely. Draw me a proposal. I pulled a buddy of mine aside, drew up a proposal, and started working for him. And I was 17. I can't really say how grateful I am for that, because I'm immensely grateful. I'm sorry, I'm just like rambling on for 1 second.
No, that's super interesting. So you just went across the street and you're fresh out of almost high school.
Right. So that job was only about a 3-month job. It was just enough to get those tracks in order. And then I walked over and started talking to my neighbor, who was the tile and stone setter. So getting the background really was I already had it. Ever since I was a kid, I was encouraged to take apart anything that was broken. It was never taboo to start taking things apart. So I just had literally bins of spare parts and VCRs and typewriters I would take apart, put back together. All these things sort of lead up to a point where you have an understanding of how things work. Once you understand the concept, it's kind of easy to provide that service to somebody.
Yeah, I kind of feel like in construction, there's so many focused aspects of construction. You can be a framer, you can be a roofer, you could be a drywaller, you could be an electrician, you could be a plumber, you could be a concrete guy. But as a handyman, you can kind of be like a jack of all trades. And like, as long as you have that focus of identify problem, fix problem,
Right.
you pretty much become Handymanco, right? Like, I mean, is that ultimately what happened here?
Essentially, there was a time when I was already steeped in home and residential construction,
Okay.
and there was an incident in my wife and our lives where she had an incident with her vehicle, and I took a position at a timeshare, which got me my commercial background experience. When I say Handyman Co., we do commercial and residential maintenance. It's just that. We know ADA compliance, so we're able to come in and service not only the commercial industry but also the homeowners, and I take pride in that.
Sweet.
Yeah, you got a wide variety of talents, and I think it's probably one of the most crucial things in the world to be able to fix things, because problem solving is amazing, and be able to do that just innately with the skills that you've developed over time, and to do it with such a good attitude is awesome.
I appreciate you saying so.
No, yeah. One of the I found this really interesting. You know, we talked before about your story is how you actually got the certificate or like the license for Handyman Co.
That is
Can
an
you tell us
interesting story. Yes.
a little bit about that?
Contractors and I, namely Mike Rogers, Tile and Stone, Johnny Ray's Electrical, we were doing a job out in Coronado on a high rise. And incidentally, we had an inspector come by and say, you need a third party to come and finish this installation on this aspect. And my contractors took me down to the city of Coronado Hall and asked me, what do I want my company to be named? This was 2005 at the time, and I'm just 21 years old, you know, like just Hand E-Man. They called me E-Man, so Handyman Co. You know, it just popped into my head, and it sort of stuck. I got the email, but I didn't recently do anything for a year. I was able to do small projects and at the same time working with my contractor, but I never really took it anywhere. Right? It wasn't until 2 years ago that I sort of I was working another job. Sorry, getting on another tangent. Protect Building Services. I was working for HOAs.
Yeah. Got it.
Right. I was doing HOA construction, and I worked from a lead technician to a supervisor to an account manager. I started out managing 23 HOA properties, doing their property walks, their photo reports, their inspections, bids. They would get a minimum of 5 bids per month.
Wow.
And 23 properties in the time of a year's span turned into 43 properties.
Wow.
So I developed extremely good organizational skills, but I was overworked.
Yeah.
It was to the point where like I was getting more gray hairs than I felt like I should have at the time. So it was almost a no-brainer. We finally got my wife through school. She was able to quit her job and start pursuing her actual career, which I love her to death. She's a surgical tech now. And, you know, we worked hard to get her there. And she turns to me and says, quit. Go do you.
There you go.
And I bless her heart, man. I ran with it.
That's legit.
And 4 months later, I ran into you guys. Patrick Zepeda, who does our carpet cleaning inside of our organization.
Yeah.
He
That's
invited
been
me
a
to come
recent
out.
guest on our podcast.
Yeah.
Right, meet you guys. And it's been a whirlwind ever since, and I couldn't be more grateful.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
of course.
Dude, totally. I mean, you know, being in mortgage and property management and real estate and being a homeowner myself, I mean, I've found multiple ways and opportunities to work with you and have you come to my house and work on things for me and my family and stuff. And so I've got to witness you at work firsthand. And I think a lot of the stigma that I had about handyman previously was that they're just handymen because they're disorganized and they can't get to be a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just kind of run around wasting time, piddling through the house, not really being productive, have to make multiple trips to Home Depot because they didn't put a punch list
That's right.
together, and they go back 2 or 3 times. And what could have been a 30-minute project turns into a 3.5-hour project. And you're like, oh, what is happening here?
Listen, there are always ways things can go wrong.
Sure.
One of the things I try and tell people is that when you're dealing with me, I do have an ADHD Like my attention is all over the place, but it's picking up on subtle things that maybe you're not noticing.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing that, I'm also writing down notes. I usually carry a notepad in my pocket to write down my material lists so that I don't forget anything. And I've also got systems built in place so that when I get an appointment, like it goes directly into my phone. The stigma that you speak of that is very prevalent. I know people out in the industry that own John's Plumbing. The guy's name isn't John.
Gotcha.
I put my name on my truck sticker so that people know this is the person that you're dealing with. My phone number is right below my name. And every new client I save into my phone, they don't get deleted. I try to maintain that level of customer service and respect when people call me. At least if I can't answer the phone immediately, I'll give them a call back when I can.
Yeah.
It's not often, but if I'm underneath the sink, I'm not reaching for my phone. I'm sorry.
Sure. Time and a place.
Right. I'm just really happy to be of service.
Yeah. I mean, you really are a service business, and it's not necessarily a transactional business either. While somebody hires you to fix a problem today, the level of service that you provide today leads you to coming back to fix other problems down the road. So I think you're taking the right approach with that attention to customer service, keeping that client contact information so that when Jane calls you 4 months later, you can answer the phone. Hey, Jane, good to talk to you again. How's things going? What can I help you with today? Like, I mean, that goes a very, very long way in the lives of people who you service.
I'm a very firm believer in stewardship. When people invite you to come and service their home, like they typically don't want multiple people coming in and finding out their layout.
Yeah.
But that's something that once I familiarize myself with, if you call me and like say, hey, I've got a problem with this, that, and the other, if I've been there before, I can typically tell you what the issue, or something similar, or at least get you the right help.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a really amazing way of communicating. I'll be honest about that. I've used you myself for some services, and one thing I'll say about Eric is you responds so quickly, and it's probably one of the most amazing things for something that's an on-demand service. So one question I got for you is, how do you balance being a one-man show, providing amazing service, and also the rest of your life? Like, a lot of times you're probably getting contacted late at night when things aren't going super well for a homeowner or a commercial business. How do you balance that demand plus just having your own life on the side?
That balance comes with my term sheet. I establish very clearly and right off the bat when people contact me, I go ahead and send them two things that they can use as tools. One is a digital card, and the other is a one-page PDF with my rates. It explains the services that I provide and what I'll charge and the rates essentially. So I mean, you're not going to bite down on anything you can't chew. Also, competitive prices. I mean, you really can't beat it. If there is something that's outside of my license range, I'll go ahead and let you know. Hey, we do have people in this industry that we can call and have them come out and take a look. But if it's something small and simple, you really shouldn't have to worry.
Yeah. So tell us about like pricing a job, because I always feel like, painters to me are like the one guys that are really tricky. Like you come in and be like, so I need you to paint this house. Like, can you give me a bid? What's your price per square foot? Like they'll go, oh, we need to really walk the job. We really need to look at it and assess it.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just like throw you out a number. It's like, how did you come up with that number? Well, just kind of eyeballed it. Like, okay, sounds, I guess, like the job's going to cost that. But then you can set your prices because you're like an hourly maintenance person. So
Right.
what is the price of a handyman typically run for services that you provide?
Well, let me segue just a little bit. Do you know how much your HOA is paying for your maintenance?
No.
I do. They're typically getting charged about $65 an hour
Okay.
for their services, and that's just having one technician show up. Now, I personally would much rather be working for the homeowners than the HOAs.
Yeah.
It's just a lot more personal. And, I feel like there's a level of gratitude that's exchanged in both manners. Thank you for the work, and hey, thank you for helping.
Yeah. Right.
Um, there's a bit of self-pride there. I don't want people to have to overpay for services. I trained myself to be a home remodeler so I didn't have to call and get those large bills that blow out your budget when you're really trying to do something else, but something at the house happens.
Yeah.
Right. So having a handyman on, accessible, to me, I think is a great value to any homeowner. Any homeowner out there that wants a first responder, who can either tell you what you need to fix it, who you need to fix it, or they can fix it themselves. That's one phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard to say that you don't do it all. Plus, have an amazing wife on the side.
I don't do roofing. I don't do large
Okay.
concrete projects. I can do small patches. But there's too much liability in me as a sole proprietor getting on the roof. So
Okay.
I don't do anything over 2 stories on a ladder. And that's just being safe. I know
Sure.
OSHA regulations, and I'll stick to those as well. Even though I'm not a big company, but I'm going to keep myself safe for my wife, my lovely wife.
Yeah,
There you
of
go.
course.
That's smart.
So you mentioned a sole proprietor.
Mhm.
What's the future of Handymanco? Like, you've been doing this over a year now on your own, and do you feel like you'll see an expansion of Handymanco, the handyman industry?
I'm
or-
very excited about the next step. The next step is going to be home maintenance contracts. Folks that want to be able to do small projects, or they want to automate their home maintenance so that it doesn't build up into a large problem, would call me and actually we'll set up a contract. Hey, let's go ahead and set aside 4 hours a month, or 8 hours a month, or 16 hours a month, whatever it is that's custom tailored to your needs. And we'll come out and we'll schedule you ahead of the rest of the people who phone in. That's one of my issues, is that my schedule is so fluid right now
Yeah.
that it can be like something of a hassle, but it's manageable. Home maintenance contracts will add not only residual money coming into the company, regular payments, but also it would also I lost my train of thought there.
Keep you constantly with
Right.
jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's a pretty smooth idea, because it's better than a home warranty, because a home warranty you call on when you actually now have the problem.
Right.
But the home maintenance plan is always preventative maintenance to avoid the blow up problem.
And while I'm there, you can ask all the questions in the world. It was like, hey, I noticed this little spot on my ceiling that's starting to like grow and change colors. What do you think that is? Well, that might be something we need to find out.
Yeah. That's smart, dude. I like that.
It's
That's
not
a pretty cool
limited.
idea. I
It's
like
not
that.
limited either.
Yeah.
I try and stay within the trades, but at the same time, if you ask me, hey, my irrigation system has got an issue, no problem. Hey, my AC, like I haven't changed the air filter, no problem. My water system, like my filters, like they need to be swapped out, no problem. These are all just things that are tedious for some people and an afterthought for some.
That's pretty cool. Dave, let's switch gears. Let's get to know Eric a little bit.
Yeah. So, Eric, we've done a little golfing together, and I'll tell you what, he said that he's never really done much golfing before, and he's got a heck of a swing.
I just bought those clubs.
You just bought those?
I bought-
bought the clubs. And
Nice.
All
like,
right,
First use?
I bought a $60 set off of Craigslist so that I could go golfing with you and Patrick and have my own clubs.
yeah.
Okay, I have next to zero golfing experience, but boy, do I love the sound when that thing goes whack.
Yeah. What other hobbies do you have besides just absolutely surprising everyone with your swing? Or
I love to fish and I love to hunt. These I consider my vacations, and it's always in some pursuit of one animal or another. I don't find. My wife would love to say that our vacations are just going up to the mountains and finding a quiet cabin, but I'm bringing a fishing pole, and I'm also like checking out, the Hunter X map in the local area, finding out what kind of grounds are in the area, what kind of animals are out there. It's a wonderful to be alive on this world, and if you don't take advantage of it, that's unfortunate.
All right.
I love
So,
that.
biggest kill?
Oh, none.
None. You
Well,
just-
fish. Plenty of fish.
Our biggest fish.
biggest
Yeah,
fish.
I could show you an image of a deer we're processing, but that was a group hunt. That wasn't my shot.
All right.
Um,
Biggest catch?
biggest catch. I caught a 29-inch grouper off of the pier in Oceanside.
Deep sea fishing at all?
This is shovelhead. I used to have a boat.
Okay.
This is a sensitive subject. I might get a little teary-eyed because
All right.
I
It'd be a
had
podcast without some tears.
I had a friend of mine who had a boat that was sitting for a year and a half. Had never touched it, was leery about it, and I said, "Let me at it." Fixed the trailer lights, fixed the motor, the steering cable, got the engine up and running again. It took me about 45 minutes, and we were back on the water again. He said it's been sitting for a year and a half because he couldn't fix it, and we got it running inside of an hour.
There's Handymanco.
Yeah,
Right.
Now
Boatman.
He asked me-
Boatico.
He asked me how much money do I had in my pocket at the time, and I said, "Well, I've got $40." And he said, "You just bought yourself a boat." That boat, I loved it to death, but God, I worked on it. I had to work on it for about a week. Every time I wanted to take it out, I'd have to work on it again before taking it out, and eventually I just willed it to the next willing victim.
That's the life of a boat owner. I am in those shoes.
So
Currently
currently looking for the next
boat.
currently looking for my next vessel.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. Now, you also have another pretty cool hobby that you've shared with us as well, and that's brewing mead.
Ah, yes.
Right.
We can blame TikTok for this one.
Okay.
It literally is a 1-minute video that taught me how mead was made. And once you understand yeast and how it ferments, you understand the timing involved and how to rack it, then you can just go crazy. The possibilities are endless. I do like brewing for friends and family. You can't really sell it, but who doesn't like having a bottle of mead? You can't buy it in the grocery store. It's unfortunate. I've tried finding it at the grocery store. They don't stock it. They don't supply it. And I think the reason why is because it's so easy to make.
Got it. Profit margins might not be high enough
Right.
there
If
on
people knew how to make it, they wouldn't be shopping at the store anymore.
So how do you make it?
3 pounds of honey. I like to have a selective batch from like orange blossom honey or wildflower honey. If you add fruit, it becomes a melomel, and that also bumps up the APV. So 3 pounds of honey and a 1 gallon jug. Fill it up to almost the top. You have to leave room for the bubbles. I heat it up to 170 and then let it cool down to room temperature. Add yeast nutrient and yeast. And then put a little airlock on top. Let it sit for 3 weeks. Rack it, and then you let it sit for another 2 weeks to clarify.
So all in all, about a 6-week process for a batch.
It's about 5 weeks, but
5 weeks.
6 if you really want that clarity. Yeah.
Got it.
And it only gets better as it ages. So the longer you leave it on the shelf, the better.
There you go.
Is there any kind of maintenance that's needed during those 6 weeks? Does Handymanco have to come in and...
Oh yeah, Handymanco has to come in and watch it bubble. Listen to it at night. Even shake the bottles every now and again to make sure it's all stirred up.
There you go.
It's extremely intensive process.
Awesome. All right, Eric. So this is North Coast Coffee Chats. So we got to figure this out. We ask all of our clients, favorite coffee spot for you?
My favorite coffee spot. That'd be my home coffee pot.
There you go. Me too.
Okay.
Amen to that. Can't beat a good homebrew.
I'm sorry, but $5 a cup's not worth it.
Cream, sugar, no sugar?
Oh, just creamer.
Just
creamer. I usually like hazelnut or French vanilla.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're speaking the same language. You and I. We're on the same page. All right. So we're here to help you grow your business. And NCNG has been a pretty vital part of the growth of Handymanco.
Absolutely.
You came to us a little over a year ago and joined this group, and you were just getting started. What has NCNG done for your business over the last year?
it's kept it alive. You can't always rely on word of mouth. It is a wonderful tool, and it's the one I've relied on most of my life is word of mouth. I didn't really do too much advertising, but with NCNG, it takes word of mouth and multiplies it times 36 and counting.
Right.
So it's been an immense blessing on my life. I've been able to remove my 10 to 12 hour work days and get back to 6 to 8. That I can't explain how grateful I am for that.
Yeah. Well, and a better quality of 6 to 8.
That's right.
Too,
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So as David alluded to a little earlier and asked the question, the growth model and what the future has in store for you, but what can NCNG members do today to keep you as busy as you need? Who can we introduce you to? Who is the next connection you're looking for to keep your business steadily moving in the right direction?
Well, as I'm sure you've noticed, property manager seems to be a pretty good partner for me.
Okay.
Also, real estate people who are at escrow who want have an inspector come by and they need a few small items taken care of. That's right where my niche is. I'll come in and knock that out and get you guys ready to sell.
There you go.
I couldn't really be more grateful for these connections. They're the reason I'm still here. My schedule is extremely fluid, but with these contracts are going to come out and it's going to start building up, and the future looks bright.
Yeah.
Solid, buddy.
Those are the lifeblood of your business, is to, make homes look amazing again, or not worry about any of the issues that are coming with them. Do you mind if we, before we go, out of curiosity, what's your why? What motivates you every day to go out and help people make their homes feel non-problematic again?
I love the expression on a person's face when they think this is a huge problem. This is something that we're going to need to spend a lot of money on, and I can come take care of it inside of an hour. Faucet swaps, angle stops, these are little things that will bite you, if you don't take care of it. I like going ahead and making sure people are set at ease. They don't have to worry about these issues. All I need to do is bring it to my attention.
There you go. There's the why.
Yeah, making people at ease.
People at ease.
It's one of the best things ever.
I don't think that people should pay that much for their home maintenance, for repairable items. People ask, can it be fixed? The answer is always yes. The real question is how much. And I try to keep that as low as possible.
Nice. So Eric, doing this podcast, our goal obviously with NCNG and Dave and I, as we do this North Coast Coffee Chats, is again to help grow business for our members. Where can people find you besides the phone number on the side of your truck? What are some of your social medias? Do you have a website? How can people promote and advertise and support your business?
I've been having a lot of back and forth on Nextdoor.
Okay.
People have found me and have been there's a lot of asking, hey, does anyone know a good plumber or a good electrician, or does anyone know anybody who can repair stucco? Nextdoor app is a great place to answer those questions, and when people know a good person, they'll refer you. And I've been blessed with customers that immediately see the value in my service and will blast me on social network.
There you go.
Petra Holland is a good client of mine, and she put me on to Nextdoor, and she blasted my information all over the place. And that literally was within the first couple months of me getting started. After I got Nextdoor set up, I set up a Yelp, got my business Yelp set up. I have an Instagram account, and I changed my Facebook profile. I mean, everything. There's no cause not to hold back. It's all in. Why hold back?
That's it. That's the life. It's the life of an entrepreneur.
Yeah, I love that.
All in. All right. Well, Eric, it's been great chatting with you today. Again, here we are, North Coast Coffee Chats, part of NCNG. Again, trying to bring local community entrepreneurs like Eric and Handemanco, one-man show, to the forefront of homeowners throughout North County, connecting Eric with anybody who's out there who owns a home, owns a property management business, is a real estate agent who needs services to fix up homes. And that's Eric. NCNG, we meet every Thursday, northcoastnetworkinggroup.com. You can find us. You can check out the 38 members that we currently have of our group and all the different entrepreneurs and what we have to offer to you if you're out there looking for any kind of product or service, especially in the home repair, home remodel, home selling, real estate. We're very heavy in that category, including solar, including mortgage, property management, and handyman services. So that'll do it for us today. Thanks for joining us, folks, and hopefully you enjoy this episode. And for all your home repair needs, Handymanco.
Appreciate the opportunity. Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Have a great day.